Hey, what's up, naughty community? Welcome back to my naughty hobby with Amber for another easy to follow crochet tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to read this diagram to crochet a hexagon. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a 2.75 millimeter hook and some number 1 super fine cotton fiber. You can use whatever size hook and yarn you have available to you to achieve the same look. So let's go ahead and get started. So right here where we see 1, that indicates that this is where our very first round will start. And I can see here that we've got these chains. So to follow the pattern exactly, we will chain up 5 and then slip stitch to the first chain that we created. So we'll create a slip knot. And then we're going to chain 5. So yarn over, pull it through that loop to create your first chain. There's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now turn your chain to the side, and this stitch right here, our very first chain, I'm going to go through that back bump to slip stitch. So we've created our little ring, and you'll work right into the center there. So we'll take a look at the graph again. So after our slip stitch, we're going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, and that first one is actually going to count as our last stitch in this round. So we'll chain up 5, and then we're going to work 3 double crochet into that center. So for this one, make sure we don't start crocheting with our tail. Put that behind me so I don't work with it. Again, chain 3. That counts as our last stitch. We're going to chain 2 more. That counts as that chain 2 space before we start working this first set of double crochets. So now working into the center, yarn over, insert your hook into your ring, drop a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through remaining 2. Do that 2 more times. Oops. All right, we just did these 3 double crochet. We're going to chain 2, double crochet 3 again, and we'll do a total of 6 of these groups of 3. Except for our last one, we'll only do 2 because that chain 3 counted as our first stitch. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. That's our second cluster. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 2, push those stitches back because we've got to fit 6 groups of 3 double crochet. That tail wants to be crocheted with. I'm trying to go around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 2. This is our 5th one. Gonna move all of these stitches because we've got to fit 2 more double crochets in there after our chain 2. There's 1 and 2. Then we're going to slip stitch into our 3rd chain. So count up from the base here, 1, 2, here's our 3rd. So just insert my hook and we'll slip stitch. And it should be looking like this. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 3 double crochet. We slip stitch to the 3rd chain, beginning of the round. And we're going to do the same thing again. So go ahead and chain up a total of 5. Just move that over a little bit. The first 3 chains will count as our very last stitch. There's that chain 2 space. And now we are going to work in this red here, 5 double crochets. So one of those double crochets will go into the chain 2 space, and 3 of the double crochets go into our previous double crochets. So each side is increasing by 2 stitches here. So there's that first one. A double crochet into each of our previous double crochets. Our corners will always get 2 chains. So we'll do another double crochet to start on our next edge. 1 into each of our previous double crochets. And then another in that chain 2 space of our previous round. Chain 2, and we're going to follow that all the way around. So we'll just work up one more ledge with you before I pause the video, and then meet you at the beginning. Chain 2, start on your next edge, and I'll meet you at the join. Now to complete round number 2, we're going to find our third chain, so count from the base here, 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook there, and we're just going to slip stitch. It's like that. So far your hexagon is a wee little guy, but it'll grow. We are now on to round 3, which is worked exactly the same way as round 1 and 2. So I'm going to work one more round with you and then call it good so you can practice on your own for a little bit. In this pattern, our beginning chain will always count for our first stitch. So we chain up 5. That first 3 is considered our last stitch of the round. So there's 5 chains. We'll put one more double crochet into the chain, or chain 2 space from our previous round, and then place a double crochet into each of the double crochets from our previous round. Each chain 2 space should be increasing by 2 stitches each round. So each chain 2 space will get a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. Now working in those corners, I like to bring that second double crochet over. Sometimes if you put your double crochet too close here, it covers that stitch and then you forget to work one in there and it can throw off the look of the whole pattern. So make sure that that first stitch isn't covered up by your corner stitches. I had started something else with this yarn and obviously I frogged it all out. Whoops. So again, each of those chain 2 spaces always get double crochet with 2 chains, double crochet. our last little edge of this round. And so you would just continue the exact same pattern that we've worked so far, where we're slip stitching into that third chain made, 1, 2, 3, as it counts as our last stitch. Slip stitch right into there, and you're ready to start your next round, where you'll chain up 5. There's our last stitch. Here's the chain 2 space, and then here's the second double crochet for that chain 2 space. So here's our first and our second, and you'll just keep adding those 2 stitches in each chain 2, and you will get a hexagon piece like this one here. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful and easy to understand and follow. I appreciate you watching the video, and I hope that you have a really wonderful day. Happy hooking, and take care. See you later.